Welcome everybody to today's tutorial. Today we're going to be learning about something that's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. So we're going to go ahead and go to the geometry-editor, and as always my tutorials are super duper beginner friendly so everybody could follow along. So we're going to go into platform mode, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be having basically like a bunch of platforms like this, which are just going to follow a path. Let's say something like this, they go like that, and then up and then down, and you guys get the idea. And I'm gonna make it very cool so that you can change the path as you want. And yeah, I'm just gonna get in depth into all of this. So let's just start. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete all of this. So we start fresh. So the very first thing you wanna do is add your very first object. And what you wanna do is give it a new group ID by going to here and assigning, let's say, group ID 1. Now I would already recommend drawing out the path. So by adding this keyframe in here, what you can do is copy and paste it and then just move it to the right, and you guys are going to see that there's a line between them. And now I'm going to move it up, copy and paste, move up, copy and paste, move right, copy and paste, move down, left, and right, and then up. Let's actually also make it go to the left as well. Let's do something like this. And yeah, let's just firstly simply just make it follow this path. So first of all, you want to make sure that this block is actually on top of the keyframe, and I'm going to show you exactly why in a bit. Actually, we're going to move it away just for now because we want to select all of these guys and click on edit group and give these a new group ID. Let's say you give them 2, right? And then you want to add the keyframe. I do have a full tutorial on this trigger, but for today we're just going to be doing like very simple stuff. We're not going to be explaining everything that goes into here. It is very complicated, but we're going to just use it as a simple trigger. So after you add it, you want to make sure that you have it still in mind, like the group IDs. So this one was group ID 1, and all of these are 2. So in here you want to do 1, and in here 2. So this is the animation group ID. So this is our animation, and this is the block that we want. I'm just gonna go ahead and platform mode, and boom. If we start, you guys are gonna see that this guy is gonna start moving. However, you guys see that he's not moving on the lines, right? And that's because it is not on top of the frame. It's basically just moving right and then up. It's basically doing all of these movements, but by an offset of 2 blocks. So we want to have no offset, exactly like this. And now, yeah, now it runs perfectly on it. But you guys can see that there's some weird issues, but we're gonna get into fixing that in a bit. But first of all, I'm gonna just quickly decorate this just a tiny bit. It's not gonna be really decorating, but I'm gonna add a glow. Go to edit object, give it like 8, and then go to black and bring down the opacity so that we have a black shadow like so. And I'm gonna add one on top, give it 9, make it blue, blending, and go like that. Copy and paste it, make it small, and make this one, double click on this, and then the HSV, just make it go real up, and then it looks beautiful. So all of these should also have the new added glow, should also have the group ID of 1. And now you guys are going to see that it's going to start going up. And the reason why I'm decorating this is because you guys are probably not going to have like a regular block. And there's going to be later issues that are going to arise if it's just these glow objects and it's like really decorated. But these issues would not happen if it is just one single block. So I want to account for all these issues so that it doesn't happen with you guys. And yeah, I would say let's just start making our thing. So this is gonna get a bit weird if we copy and paste this on top, because yeah, it's gonna be a mess. So we want to have multiple objects that are gonna move. That's gonna basically like represent a snake that's moving around. And I'm just gonna go ahead and place this like here. And now if you start it, you guys are gonna see that there's an issue. So first of all, you want to go to this, the main object, and then click on here and click on P. If you don't see the P, that means you have more than one object selected. You should only have this. And now what you want to do is add a move trigger. Go to this one as well and give this one to the parent. And this one has 2 parents and this one has 1 parent. That means we want to move 1 towards 2. Sounds complicated, but you guys are going to understand exactly what happens. I'm just going to do silent and dynamic mode. What this is going to do is basically move all of these guys directly on top of there. And now if we start, you guys are going to see that it moved there and then it starts moving. This is very important because we're going to have a bunch of blocks. This isn't going to be very simple. So I'm just going to go ahead and select. I'm going to like align them like that just so we know, and then do this, and then here build helper, resume, copy and paste here, build helper, copy and paste, build helper. So now we have created this, which is really nothing but copying and pasting this and giving everything a new group ID. So these guys are now 3, these are 4, these are 5. So as always, we want to make this one the parent, we want to make this one the parent of 4, this one the parent of 5. And now you guys can see that all of them have moved towards here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add a bunch of keyframes as well. So we want 1 to move and also 3. So we're gonna do 3 and 4 and 5. We want to have this offset. It is very important. And now you guys can see that we are starting to get somewhere, which is very cool. So if we just move them like that, you can already like stand on them, but it's a big mess because we still need to edit this animation. And to do that, it's very simple. So you want to select all of them. It really depends on exactly what you want to do. If you want to have like an exact perfect thing, I would highly recommend you watch my tutorial about the keyframes because I go in depth with all of these settings. So I'm just going to go ahead and make them distance and reference only. And what this is going to do is basically make it so that the platforms move from here all the way to there within 0.5 seconds. And if you increase this to 1.5, it's going to be a bit more. So I'm going to just select all of them. Bring the value to, let's do 10, maybe 10 seconds is good. And now you guys can see that they are going real slow. So we don't want that. We want it to be maybe 4. 4 is too much, right? Yeah, 4 is way too fast. Let's do 6. So it really just comes down to like optimizing and how you want it to be. And if they are like cluttered like so, what you can always do is just distance these from each other so that they start yeah, exactly. Okay, now we're actually almost done. So I'm just gonna go ahead and we don't want this to start like this. I want it so that, okay, listen up. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do something that's pretty cool, I would say. So I'm gonna basically like make a platform so we can't see the behind the scenes. As always, I like my tutorials to be super clean so that you can actually use them in your levels. It's not just any useless tutorial, right? what I'm gonna do I'm dying. What I'm gonna do is something like this, and then I'm gonna do to the right, and then I'm gonna add a black platform like so, and then I'm gonna add this glow. We're gonna make it fully black, and then I'm gonna copy this one, make it on top, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna bring it like that. You guys can see that this looks pretty cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add a pad in there like so. Also make sure that all of these objects in here are on top too, so that yeah, exactly. So now we want all of these guys to be up there. Give these guys a new group ID of, let's say, 6. Go to edit object, spawn, and we don't need multi. So now nothing is gonna happen unless you spawn these. So we want to add a spawn trigger right there, and we want to spawn 6 because that's the group ID that we assigned to all of these guys. So 6, make sure you enable spawn ordered so that this one gets spawned and then it waits, and then that one, and then it waits, and then that one, and so on. And we're gonna make this touch. So what that means is basically as soon as you touch it, it's gonna start the animation, which is exactly what we want. So that is very, very cool. Now there are a bunch of issues where I'm just gonna go ahead. First of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this one and give that one a group ID of, let's say, 7, and then I'm gonna make it spawn triggered, and I'm gonna add a, let's do this one, and this one we want to go to edit special and toggle 7, right? 7. So it's gonna toggle this one. It's gonna enable it, and that one is going to basically spawn the things. All right, so pretty cool. Now there are a bunch of issues, and first of all I realize it's a bit too fast. I'm going to do 8 instead, and now maybe the placings, yeah, the placings need change. So you could always just do this 1, 2, and then select them all, go to here, align X, and what this is going to do is just align them all on the X, which just looks pretty cool. Okay, so now the second issue is that these lines are not going to be visible in normal mode, so I would highly recommend you guys add ways to indicate where these blocks will be going. I like to add these guys, scale them all the way to 0.25 and just spam them like so, and that should indicate the path. And now there's still an issue. So when you make these guys, it's very important to note that sometimes the player could just be standing here and then it's Jover. If he doesn't react in time, it's just going to be Jover. So make sure you actually make the path easy to follow. So what you want to do is, for example, I would say let's just delete. Yeah, let's just delete these guys. When I select all of those, actually I'm going to select those and these and go down. Yeah, something like this. I'm gonna delete those, go up like that, and now, yeah, so now if you miss it, you can still go up, which is, yeah, pretty cool. And if you want it to be more spacing, just move it over and do a line X so that it just has the perfect spacing between all of them. And yeah, this is looking pretty cool. So you can like add a saw blade in here or something just to, you know, he's got to jump on it. And yeah, I think this is pretty cool. So check this out. You gotta line up yourself and then jump. Dude, that's actually pretty cool. This is definitely worth a like and subscribe. So yeah, let's just give it a try in normal mode. I always like to add this one first. And yeah, let's just get... I'm also gonna add an end trigger right here. If you touch it, the level is going to end. So, 88 objects. We have created a snake game mode, which is pretty cool. Not a game mode, but just a thing that follows. And now you guys can see that it's working and you can still get up there, which is pretty cool. So if you missed it, it's no issues, and boom, done. We have done it. Just make sure that when you end them, also add like a similar thing to these guys so that they don't just instantly stop. So yeah, go ahead, have fun with this. I'm gonna snake tutorial. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys learned something in this tutorial. Let me know what tutorial you guys would like to see next, and here's the level if you want to check it out. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and also the like, and also I would highly recommend that you watch the playlist that is on the screen right now. It has a lot of tutorials, and I also made a full course on how to make a Geometry Dash level that is feature worthy. So check that out definitely, and I will see you guys in the next video.